Hello. Hi. Hi there. Everybody knows what we're here for. I can hear the cats outside the window. Even they know what we're here for. Do you know what we're here for, chat? I can hear the cats. Guess who's here with me, everyone? I don't know what it is. However, allow us to look back before we look forward and then dive in to this man's ass. Pause. I knew you were gonna fucking use the air horn. Let us begin to have a small inkling of who the fuck this nigga thinks he is.
I need a link or something. You're
Hold
not
on,
showing me.
hold on, goddamn. Chat room. First must be primed and satiated. Why is that the wrong window? Or do I just have it in the wrong window? Probably have it on the wrong window. Yeah, I have it on the wrong window. There, it's halfway off the screen. One of the two. Interesting. I have to fix that. And that's why it's not full screen. Sized wrong.
I miss the old Kanye, straight from the gold Kanye. Chop up the soul Kanye, set on his goals Kanye. I hate the new Kanye, the bad mood Kanye, the always rude Kanye, spaz in the news Kanye. I miss the sweet Kanye.
I would have made a fucking edit with this, just replaced with a really poorly Idubbz, but I'm much too fucking lazy. He actually named his fucking video that, chat. And now, let us dive directly into this man's backside. Pause. As we learn what exactly West Coast Joe Dirt has to tell us today. As you can already tell, I'm joined by Jay. Jay, you've seen this already. What did you have to think about this?
To sum up, he ain't got no balls.
Still ain't got no balls.
Nutless.
Nutless. Hairless. Not a single bit of masculinity to be seen from miles away. Some of you are probably disappointed that it's not going to be a panel, but realistically, we're not going to be able to get through this shit fast enough if it's a panel. Like, if it is a panel, I apologize. I apologize.
Okay, but where the hell's the link?
Hold on, goddamn. She's moving super fucking slow for some goddamn reason for me. Watch. Create your room. Idubbz. White pasty nigga. There's a white pasty nigga with his horrible fucking mustache. Okay, ho. Here you go. However, all of you, feel free to speak amongst yourselves inside of casual collared memes and watch along as we watch. Please, do not let me and the ability to have comedic timing stop you from shitposting together. That's why that channel's there, by the way. Also, please note the beautiful little green bar at the end of the screen. Carl's fat ass needs a new chair. We're almost there. If you would like to be able to have content where your content creator's back is not dying on this fucking backyard barbecue chair, you too can support the caucasity of this Negroid by donating. A Carl is a terrible thing to waste, and it is all a horrible thing to not get lumbar support for. Anywho, let us begin.
For a while, I felt like if I changed my content over time, that people would see that as a reflection of who I am and what I value.
No. I don't see any content creators' specific content as what they value. I see it as what they chose to present because we're presenters. You jackass. You created a career and a channel based on being a dirtbag leftist. You probably did not intend it to be political when you started, but it definitely became a statement once you got at least 5 years into what you chose to do. Didn't matter if it was bad unboxing. It didn't matter if it was content comp. It didn't matter if it was a random shitposting video between you and the Garbage Crew, which is the unofficial name between himself, Max Mofo, and Joji. It didn't matter. That was what you created. That is what you made. And unfortunately for you, sometimes, in order to make a point, Ian, we must be a whole ass, not a half ass. That's why you started Content Cop. If you valued the ability to make content that reflected your values, I don't think it's part of your values to go walk up to regular Canadians and scream at them, and I'm pretty sure they'll try to suspend the video if I say the whole statements. So I'll instead say Negro. I can't even say that word. Damn. That sucks. That I can't trust the YouTube system to even be able to repeat the word that you happily were willing to say, Tintana Mojo. Is that something that people miss the old Idubbz for, Ian? Do they miss you screaming horrible obscenities at the top of your lungs at a meet and greet event, making everybody around you and witnessing you unfucking comfortable with a shit-eating grin on your face? The same shit-eating grin that you ironically use as your channel's video cover for your profile pic. Wild. Wild, wild, wild.
But I'm starting to realize that that is a very weak and passive way to, run my channel and live.
Meritocracy? A weak way to run your channel? Wow, I wonder who put that in your head. Along with the dildo that's in your ass.
Live my life. So I think it's, if I'm going to have the balls to go to Tana's fan meetup and say
how ironic. I've gone into this with fresh eyes, everybody. I don't know what the fuck he's going to say. Jay does. How hard was that read, Jay? Oh, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things I could have predicted, but that was an easy fucking read, if you really want to be honest. But the thing is that's on the lower end. That's on the lower end. Are you fighting a cat for the microphone? What the fuck?
What?
I hear this fumbling around your microphone like...
Yeah. I was moving it. What the fuck is that noise? What's that noise? What's going on? Carl, what's going on? I'm scared. The fuck? Carl, what's going on?
Hooray, we can hear you. Everything was fine! I didn't change anything! Now I'm concerned that Jay can't hear me. Because if I have to reboot the stream, I can just reboot the stream. That's simple. Because if it's not Discord, then it's OBS. Also, thank you for the $5, Morgan. Jay, can you hear me? Because I haven't seen my portrait lighting up. I don't know why it's not lighting up. Cough. That's working. Spec, we can hear. Okay, stop. Can the audio track on the stream hear me? Yes or no? Okay, because I've been talking this entire time, and my microphones have been lighting up, and she was hearing me, and then everything supposedly broke by itself, including OBS. I'm just trying to make sure I can get a reply to her. Can't hear me at all. Okay. Let me see if it is a sudden error of Discord. Oh, whoa. Thanks, Red. Right, I'm gonna restart my Discord again. I'm going to go to my sound settings. I'm going to look. Here we are. Here's the problem. The fucking fine voice microphone is being used. Why is that still there? Gotta make sure to delete that. Okay. This might be a Windows thing. However, I'm just gonna make sure to get that program off the computer. My voice isn't even still on the computer, so why is it still coming up? Yeah, it's not even still in here. That's weird. Okay, let's fix that problem. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, so I know what the problem was. It was pointing at a program that is no longer on my computer, trying to use a microphone setting that wasn't there. Which is very bizarre. And everything was fine. Everything, unless it was always pointing at it the entire time. Literally everything was fine. Then OBS started disconnecting. And you started saying, what the hell that was that noise? And you weren't describing what the fuck you were hearing. Which is what was confusing. You just wouldn't say, Carl, they sound like a chipmunk. And then I would have been like, okay, I figured out what the problem is.
Technically, you should know about your settings before you get your.
I did! That's why I don't understand! The computer was doing it automatically on its own! Like, everything was fine. I literally spent time setting up the stream, getting the thumbnail done, worked on the goddamn fucking thumbnail ahead of time, put up the stream links ahead of time. I did everything right. The universe trying to fuck me. I forgot what point I was making.
Slurs at her. Like, I'm starting to realize that that is a very weak and passive way to, you know, run my channel and live my life. So I think it's, you know, if I'm gonna have the balls to go to Tana's fan meetup and say slurs at her and then make a video about how it's okay to say slurs.
Oh yeah, I remember my point now. Okay. So there was many events in your career that people could have pulled from to demonstrate the point of who you are now and who you were when you were actually yourself. Tana's an easy pull because it's probably the most abrasive, on-the-nose obscenity that you could have done in pursuit of a point. If screaming Negroid, what's a good word for French cigarette? Negroid cigarello, Negroid black and mild, and other such words that sound suspiciously like terminology from Jim Crow. If you wanted to go to a Canadian's meet and greet and scream that obscenity at her as loud as you can in front of a room surrounded by her fans and children, and then go back home and then edit yourself on a live stream or on a video, and then say, and that's the reason why if you're not willing to go all the way, you shouldn't go halfway. That is probably some of the most hypocritical garbage you could have fucking done and said. Because it's wild. Because as I'm looking at this on Watch Together, I'm seeing probably some of your best bullshit here. I have here in front of me the Addressing the Froggy Fresh situation, otherwise known as the exact same bullshit that you claim you don't want to stand by on your channel anymore. We have Jeff the Logan, the scandal coverage. We have Preppers Give Me the, what was this? Preppers Give Me the Ick. Godlike Vaccine. And You're Hiding From Me. All of these things are the old Idubbz cancer. As it dies, and this new Idubbz sickle cell anemia comes out from underneath your mustache, slowly turning you more and more into the douchebag you always were, but were at least able to hide behind the antics you did in front of a camera. I know Jay has an opinion. My opinion is, you're a bitch with trolls remorse. Because you realized, just as many people on BreadTube are beginning to realize too, because of course they are, you're losing touch with your core audience. Which is to say, you're losing touch with the internet autists and the old fags that make up your, that's the word for them. The people who are not new to the internet, old fags. Comparative to new fags. Comparative to the just fags. You're losing touch with your core audience of the people who made you your millions, and will make you your millions. Maybe some of them grew up and changed with you over time. But realistically, you have changed so drastically from who you presented yourself as before and who you still try to represent yourself as today versus what you claim is just, I'm just maturing, guys. I'm just growing up. No, you're not. You're immaturing. The old Idubbz would not have tried to kick Froggy Fresh from Creator Clash 2 because he was upset that he got trolled harder when he tried to go out of his way to troll Sam Hyde. The old Idubbz would have allowed Harley to be trained full stop by Sam Hyde in his Irishman phase as he was trolling the shit out of Hassan on a mega troll because he would have found it fucking funny as much as he could have found it egregious. And I don't know, this seems like an unfair level of bullying, but then you would have looked at the content and you would have looked at the opinion that everybody would have had and you really realized it's not my place to judge. Let me just run this event. And when we watch Harley run these hands across Aaron Hansen's face real quick, the old Idubbz wouldn't have been a bitch about standing next to Anissa while she made OnlyFans, and would have made his peace with the fact that eventually someone's going to buy his wife's set. There's not going to be a leak. You're not going to be able to complain and bitch and whine and moan like you did years ago. I think about 7 years ago, when you and her tried to subpoena and get all of the information and videos. Is that clacking in your kitchen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like about 6 to 7 years ago, before the coup and during the coup, where she decided to fully commit to the OnlyFans because she realized that there was only one path for her anymore. He wouldn't have bitched and whined and moaned and said, well, I support my wife and her OnlyFans. No, he would have made a giant-ass video with a goddamn picture. You know the one that we're talking about. The one with your girl fucking licking the ice cream soup off her fingers. You would have been right there. You would have made a hair cake video with it. You would have invited Max Mofo. You would have possibly gotten a very special guest starring of Joji, who couldn't have been able to join in on the antics. He could have just been like on the side of the camera, behind the camera, being like, whoa, bro, that's wild. Because you know that he would end up getting his music career canceled because of your activity. Because he actually has the kind of risk at play that you don't have. And he would have made a hair cake video out of chopped up bits and pieces of the Polaroid pictures that you would take with her as you go to a shoot with her. The old Idubbz would be mercilessly mocking the new Idubbz. The always rude Idubbz. Too much of a bitch Idubbz. Running away Idubbz. Destroying his friendship Idubbz. Burning his bridge Idubbz. Being a bitch Idubbz. But of course, you know best. Clearly, nobody can be able to criticize you better than you.
I think I should have the balls to make an apology video and take accountability for the mistakes I've made.
Mistakes, otherwise known as I harassed somebody, then claimed that we made an event that was for charity, but which is actually at profit, because I want to use this as a new way of getting content from people who are willing to give me content rather than me work with them collaboratively on the content and not be a clout shark. Because I know that I don't want this money from Factor. No HelloFresh, I don't want your money. No Ridge Wallet, I don't want your money. I want Barclay Banks money. I want Stake.com money. I want my Creator Clash event to be equal to Kingpin. And unfortunately, my bro, you don't have people like Barbie, okay? I can tell you that right now. Jay has no idea the context of what I'm talking about. I'm gonna show her.
No, it's gonna take an hour.
No, it won't! Stop. So, for those of you, I'm gonna show this picture to Jay. So, for those of you who don't know, the general sponsors, all those people that you see there on the back panel of this wall next to this fucking goth girl. This is Barbie. She spells the B's with 9s, but this is an internet influencer goth girl. She went to a boxing match just like this one. And just like any UFC event, just like any boxing event, you have sponsors and you have ad share revenue deals. The kind of shit you'd be seeing here, you'd be seeing things like Chase Bank, Barclays. These are credit card sponsors that like being involved in high-stakes influencer events. He wants to be this. He wants to be Kingpin Boxing. Okay? He doesn't want to do any of the things he does now. He wants to be that. There goes my cockboxing the microphone again. He wants to be those. But he can't be that. Because he's Idubbz. So he needs to create the event so that he can try to get that infusion of Redditor Twitch audience. That's what he wants. He's making a special event that he has control over. That he can control who's inside of it, where the money going for it goes, and what he chooses to involve in his event, and the narrative around his event. But he realized, the first time around, because I already had this kind of diatribe on the stream, so I'm just repeating what I said there. He already had this foresight, because Anissa in his fucking ear. You can't have people like Sam Hyde. Sam Hyde's a Nazi. Our progressive audience isn't gonna like it, babe. We gotta get rid of him, babe. We gotta control who's here, babe. If they won't cut off their friendships for you, they can't be involved in our event. And so he thinks that what he needs to apologize for is for being a little bitch and not saying, oh yeah, I kicked Raji Fresh because he wouldn't get rid of Sam Hyde. And yeah, it's not an event for the creators and for my fans and for people to support together and make content. It's an event for me to socially preen who's allowed to be in my social boxing club. Jay, what's your opinion?
Yeah, I got nothing after that.
Really? Nothing? Wow.
I have a stream for this. Go watch that.
Some people probably didn't watch a stream, although honestly, at this point, we have so much audience bleed over. Half of them probably have seen your stream.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what this video is.
Oh, yes. The half in, half out. I'm totally sorry, but I'm not sorry, because if I was really sorry, I would have been apologetic the first time around, and I wouldn't have dragged my feet until I got dunked on by the entire internet and an entire fucking dossier on this one event created by BlaBlaX.
I've realized that I need to be crystal clear about what I believe, so there's no room for ambiguity. I am responsible for creating a lot of hurtful and damaging content on this channel. And I've also created a culture of apathy and, I don't know, a lot of like cruelty as well. Like, you know, some of the videos I've made have been very, not edgy. I don't think they you know, some of these videos were edgy. I think they were just outright cruel.
Oh, yes. It was cruel of me. It was cruel of me to make jokes and observations on the internet. It was cruel of me to just make content and be myself. I decided that I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch. My wife owns my balls, and there was nothing of merit. There was nothing of merit. It was all harassment. It was all incitement. And I'm the creator of this style of content. Me, I originated, patented, trade snark. I don't want there to be any ambiguity about how much of a bitch I am. I am a very big bitch. My pussy is very large.
So I don't want people to, you know, get it confused about, you know, where I stand. I have made some cruel, hurtful content, and I need to acknowledge that, and I'm really sorry that it's taken me this long to acknowledge it.
Yes, it was so hurtful for you to do the exact same analysis that the entire internet needed to do twice over on multiple content creators, including Chink's nephew, because for some reason, in your mind, you think it's a cruel thing to try and put your content cop, because you took down your content cops, and say, look, all of this was just mean-spirited, and none of it was helpful, and it was horrible. No, you stupid fucking idiot. No. Some of it probably was. Let's be honest. Some of it was done in the meanest spirit, which is probably what made it so goddamn-taining, especially considering the people in question, just like you, really didn't care about what was happening. They cared about the reaction that it got, which is just classic Trolls Remorse. But you need to understand, it doesn't matter. It's now a matter of history. The content cops will be re-uploaded. I can tell you that goddamn much. There are going to be plenty of people who are going to be re-uploading it. Just like when Raygun tried to take down not all of the social influencer, SJW soap opera, or hip hopera that he was making. The SJW the musical. Just like when he tried to take down Part 4, and then it got re-uploaded by Dev. Your videos are a matter of precedent on understanding something. Because I can see that you would say, oh no, my video where all I did was I supposedly harassed these content creators and said that their content wasn't up to snuff. I felt that was unfair. It's necessary that people understand the point of what fair use is, and that they don't just do what Jinx did. Because then, when people like Hassan come along and do the whole entire thing, but publish it to another video streaming audience as a broadcaster, and he believes that that's going to get him safe from being mocked into the ground, to the point that he then tries to lie about this, and he needs to be dragged through the mud, not just by EFAP, but by everybody, about how lazy most reaction content is. No, that's not mean-spirited. No, that's not cruel. That's just desserts. It's served ice cold with a side of fucking bitch lasagna. Okay? Okay. Gotta get that in your head. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and very close is the sword to sever the head of the king. You upset that this is a cursed scepter now? Bro, this has been the internet for a while. You can't blame that on the internet and say, well, I have been making content, my audience is cruel, so I want there to be no ambiguity about how cucked my viewpoint has changed. No. You're just upset that there's millions of people who are looking at your every action and criticizing your every action like you taught them to. Oh, what's that? I taught people to be critical with a dirtbag leftist persona and opinion and humor, and now I don't like it that people are using my own tactics against me? I'm gonna delete my content. That'll get them to stop.
The content I'm talking about specifically are content cop videos and videos where I was just generally criticizing people for very lackluster reasons. And, you know, obviously didn't have any accountability online whatsoever on my end.
The accountability is the content. The accountability is the comment section that will then criticize you, and then the entire internet that will criticize you for the content. Who do you think you're being judged by? You believe that you're being judged by God?
Idubbz, my son. You are letting this bitch rule your fucking life? I will not let this slide. You will be fucked in the ass in eternal purgatory until you repent. Delete your content. Devote yourself to the ways of social justice, and I shall set you free from your cock cage. I have the key right here. All I gotta do is get a little twist or two.
I was morally grandstanding and acting as if I am any better than any of these people that I was making content cop videos on.
I felt that I was better than these people, and so I had the audacity to criticize them. Some of these people you probably were better than. I can't speak for every single goddamn creator, but I'm pretty sure inside of there, at least with Tana, you are probably better than some of them in terms of your mindset at the time. However, you definitely act like you're better than everybody now.
And I'm not. I'm a human. I'm a real human who makes mistakes. And, you know, I make a different set of mistakes than the people I was making videos on. But it doesn't matter. I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty or hate. It's also...
It's hatred when a person criticizes somebody, and people will be annoyed by how the event happened and the viewpoints happening in front of them. It is hate. When I criticize the videos that we watch on my channel, when I criticize the events, when I give opinions and I'm asked and pressed for opinion by my audience, I'm just vehemently spewing the worst kind of things that you could ever be warned about by the ADL. Listen, shibboleths, dog whistles, nah, nigga. full animus. I will go to your house and do you. Don't even need a slug. I'll just fill it with pellets of my nut. That way, I can tag and bag your house and say that I fucked you. That's what it is. Every single time somebody mocks somebody on the internet for having a bad take, that is just them spewing their hatred, not them making a point, even if they have to do so in the most abrasive way possible. It's all just hate. It's all hate. If you don't kiss their ass, it's just hate.
Indoctrinated a lot of people into thinking that this is an okay way to behave.
It's not indoctrination if people are willingly doing it, my guy. And it's not indoctrination because you claim, well, I'm such a big figure that I have such an influence on people that clearly they don't have the ability to rationalize and understand and do the action while at the same time having the same mindset to understand what exactly is going on as we choose to do this. I just got in front of a camera and I started doing funny words, and all of a sudden I had control of these people. I made them dance on my marionette strings. My marionette strings that I got manipulated on by Sam Hyde. Normally I'm able to manipulate people, but now I realized I've been using my necromancy for bad.
And it's not. It's super irresponsible and shitty. I am very insecure about my ability to create interesting content or like entertain. It's gotten better over the years, but it's something that I have struggled with constantly.
Boo-hoo, nigga, everybody struggles with it.
And it's one of the reasons why I, kept making this hurtful content. I ended up pivoting it into other things because I felt bad about it, like innately. But it's still something that I struggle with, and I don't want you to interpret that as an excuse, but I hope that that is relatable to other creators who maybe struggle with the same thing.
Sure, everybody does with audience capture. The difference is that rather than dealing with your audience capture, you just let yourself be captured by your audience. The fuck?
I was really concerned about the direction I was taking my content in, so instead of actually finding myself and deciding what it is I wanted to do with my content and myself, I instead let my wife get in my ear and tell me who my friendships, my relationship, and my content should be, so that she could socially preen attention off of me, and even claim that all of my ideas, including my content cops, were actually her idea.
Which, when you say that, you do realize that means your wife's the problem, right? You say it's the content cops. I want to take down the content cops because they don't reflect who I am. But your wife is on fucking interviews with you saying that she had a hand in writing them. She's on Twitter saying that she had a hand in creating the skits of them. She's claiming that she's been in every single finger and pie that you've ever been famous for. So, which one is it, Ian? Is it, I don't want to be next to this image that the quote, dude bros in my audience think is acceptable? Or is it, my wife told me I need to do this, otherwise I will never not be insulted and haunted by the old content I made? Thus cementing that yes, I am a bitch who can't deal and parse my emotions through my content, and instead will give half lackluster opinions as I hope to crowd that dying breadtube audience that's already turning on itself. Cause this will not save you from them. They already labeled you a chud. They are beating your ass in the quote tweets as we speak.
I'm not confident in my ability to entertain.
Pause in the video, he's already said it.
And I think if I had to rely on my personality to entertain people, that I wouldn't have any amount of success.
Yes, we know that you have the Aaron Hansen problem. We understand that. Everybody knew that. They were willing to work through it because you at least were able to demonstrate that you had the passion once before, but it's not on us that you lost your passion to create.
And that is really hard to come to terms with. I was being very bigoted in a lot of my videos, and
Bigotry is when you make jokes at people's expense.
justified it because, you know, I didn't think it was too serious. And I thought that people were going to see that I had good intentions, you know, but that's so silly, you know. Casual racism is still racism.
No, it's words on the internet said specifically to get a rise out of people. Huh? You recorded this, you watched it back, you did the cuts to cut for the dead air, and you thought that was a point. No, you jackass.
Casual bigotry is still bigotry. And, you know, I said a lot of things that I look back at and I cringe now, and I'm like, that is an awful thing to say.
Yeah, you probably should have thought of that before you screamed it at the top of your fucking lungs. And in the mindset that you had to be in to create the situation where you thought to yourself, yes, I'm going to go to that event, and I'm going to do this, that at any point in time you could have said to yourself, nigga, this seems like a bridge too far. This seems like too big a nig-nog to nig. Maybe I shouldn't nig this nog. Maybe this nog should remain unniggled. Hey, come on, Ian. Maybe we shouldn't do this. But no, clearly, Joe Dirt Norman Osborn, what actually happened is that the soul of Idubbz got up on your head and then preened itself directly over you and said, "No, they must suffer. They must be mocked. So, like, ow, that actually hurt. So, which one is it? Are you being manipulated by the Green Goblin in your mind, or by the fucking extremely disgusting emo attempting goth that you have stuck to your lap? Which one is it? Are you being controlled by your subconscious, by your alter ego, or by your wife? Trick question, they're all the same thing.
It doesn't matter what my intentions are. Like, if I'm hurting people, I'm hurting people. And
it hurts the robber when I shoot him for breaking into my house, but I'm certain that my family will be safe and happy that I shot the robber threatening our house. Carl, that doesn't seem like a fair comparison. The people being criticized by trying to get away with a horrible social action, like bullying a person on the internet because they believe that they should fully dip into the idea of calling somebody a Nazi, sounds like it'd be a take if, oh, come on, he's a Nazi, he's hurting people. But in reality, getting mad at a person that you tried to antagonize, and all they did was fuck with you, and then demonstrate that, nah, bro, we just talk about the shit and we're chill. That wasn't good enough for you. You needed to try and find a way to cut them out of your content because you're so petty that you want to deplatform them in any way you can, to the point you'll deplatform not just them, but you'll deplatform other people who won't stop associating with them. I think the people in question feel like it's bullshit, especially when they know the real reason behind behind the motivations of your actions. Just like everybody else watching. No, Ian, I'm gonna believe my lying ears and eyes, and not the lying nigga in front of me.
you know, who the fuck knows what my intentions are? Like, sarcasm and like jokiness and jokey tone only goes so far, especially over the internet. Even in real life, that's like an impossible thing.
Tone, context, information, insight. Sure, nobody can assume what your tone is through the internet if all they have is no context. That's why you add the context. That's what Content Top was. Adding the context. You explained your points well enough. So what you're saying is that it was all just trash? Better delete your channel then and start over. Because you definitely shouldn't keep the audience that you have. If that's what you think. I want to prove that I've changed my personality. Take the Xanderhole route. Delete your channel. Rise from the ashes of Idubbz and become a new content creator. Do not use the platform that you've built off of this bonfire of hatred and racism and bigotry and become anew as a phoenix of your new opinions and worldview. Don't use this tainted audience. No! What's that? You're gonna keep the audience? I didn't care about the platform. I just needed the platform to get to a new place. Oh, I see. That makes you twice as much of a bitch. Also, how do you feel about that? He says he hates who he was and what he used to do, and so he's going to continue to make content on the channel that has more than enough videos than just Content Cop that display this behavior. But he's not going to get rid of the channel and start anew on a new channel and make this channel dead.
And on top of that, the Content Cops he says he's so ashamed of, he just unlisted them. He didn't delete them.
Oh yeah, that's the worst part. Because if what you wanted was to prove that's not who I am anymore, the content, I will erase it from history. It will be memory hold. Deleting them or privating them would have been the way to do that. Not unlisting them. It's like Extra Credits rebranding themselves to Extra History and trying to run away from their extremely piss-poor takes. Not just the fantastic racism takes, but specifically the dumbass, if it looks like a Nazi, sounds like a Nazi, and seeks hows like a Nazi, it's clearly a member of the National Socialist Party. What you are right now, Idubbz, is a nexus point. And just like Extra Credits was a nexus point of what happens when people get tired of seeing social preening faggotry of the highest order. Where people come up to you and say, you see this orc? Look at this photograph! This orc looks like you and it makes me laugh. Yes?
I think he went out again.
I didn't touch anything. What the fuck? Volume section, volume mixer. Can you hear me, Jay?
Yeah.
No, I ain't going nowhere. Goddamn, you're scaring me!
You're still there, right?
Yes.
I heard you for like a second. You went out again.
I don't know, it was probably lag. I lost my train of thought, god damn it! Just like how Extra Credits got mad at the internet because they said, no, bro, it's obvious. If there's Nazis in a game, clearly you're devoting Nazis unless you take out the special specific time to point out that you're Hans Haschengruber, that you were actually just a drafted German citizen, you had no relation to the Nazis, and you were in a story where you had to survive the Third Reich, and you had to get along far enough so you could escape Germany entirely before committing a hate crime. You find yourself in the position where you don't know the difference between that and anything else. And instead of realizing that actually people will realize the context that no, you are clearly not a Nazi, you are clearly not a hateful, bigoted person because you chose to criticize someone, you instead decided, actually no, that's what it is. I must be a hateful individual because I haven't done enough. I haven't said enough. I haven't cucked enough. And so you take the most bitch-made route out. Instead of actually deleting the content that made your channel popular, you instead unlist it, demonstrating that you're not truly committing yourself to the bit. You're not committing yourself to your worldview. You're just upset that everybody will have easy to reach examples of what you used to do and how you used to be to compare your new behavior to. And for people who are uninitiated, who won't have the links already saved on hand, you hope that this will be a way to prevent yourself from getting mocked on the internet. But I am sorry to tell you, many of us will happily pay for the Twitter Blue if every single time you show up to start talking shit, we just start re-uploading 2-hour cuts of your content to your fucking channel, to your face. Which is something you can do with Twitter Blue. I don't think it's worth the money, but if it's for the purpose of committing to the bit, oh yes we will. And the bitch-made thing about that idea is that you'll then say that and say, see, this is what happens. This is the reason why I did it. No. No. It's not. And you know that it's not. We could care less if you got your ass whooped by another content creator and your wife was so embarrassed that she couldn't stop making a face while you're sitting there half blinded from the left hook that nigga gave you. You're getting your ass beat in a real way that you can't avoid. And you probably would prefer it. You would prefer getting beaten in a boxing ring rather than getting mocked and antagonized by the people you used to call your mutuals, associates, and friends.
To know with 100% certainty. I've just always had this dumb philosophy that I'm not responsible for, my audience, and
you're not responsible for your audience. Your audience is responsible for themselves. You can't help who your fans are, and trying to segregate your non-shitty fans from your shitty fans is not going to be the way to keep yourself afloat. You're just going to kill your channel. Realistically, your channel will continue to grow, but the audience that you would have been fostering this entire time up until your fucking heel turn will leave you, and it will be dead in spirit. The name Idubbz will continue and live on and possibly become a multi-million-dollar, but the soul, nigga, the soul is dead! It can't be resurrected. It's not coming back.
How they behave beyond what content I put out, and that's stupid, and it's led to a lot of hate and a lot of bad outcomes.
Also, thank you for the super chats, everybody. I will read them in a moment.
And I just want to make it clear that I am absolutely responsible for my audience, and
no, you're not. Because if you're responsible for your audience, all it needs is that we need one brave soldier to go commit a hate crime and dedicate it to you. I am being facetious when I say that, but seriously, that's where that logic goes to. If you're supposed to be responsible for the influence you have on your audience, and you don't, instead of living your best self and your best life and your most authentic self, you live a version of yourself that you feel you need to be able to survive and live by the rules of YouTube censorship, it only takes 1 to 5 good events where people will look at you and say, this is your audience, this is who you are, this is what you've created and fostered, and you will never be better than this. For them to immediately say, yeah, we'll just can pretend that this is the channel that is now owned by Miku Hatsune. Idubbz, you mean the alternate ego of Markiplier? They'll do that to you. Just like they do it to everything fucking else. It's so fucking sad, man. It's so fucking sad. Also, rolling back up. Thank you for the super chat. $5 from Jovini the Hyena. Saying that Anissa wrote all the content cop is funny because she's saying that she okayed him saying the N-word. True! Anissa is kind of a nigga, isn't she? I'm joking. What's sad is that people are actually buying this chick from him being racist in the fast. $5 from Nick. I don't believe racism. I'm sorry. I don't think this man can truly commit to being racism, even all the way back then. And rest assured, chat, I know about the goblinoid versus tyrannoid Jewish discourse. We'll save that for another time. Anyways, it is exactly like that, Idubbz. That you say, ah, man, my audience is so bad that I'm going to be held responsible for what they say and do. And you then think the best way to get away from what you used to say and do is to try and delist it, as though that's going to make anybody forget that it was there. You can't I don't even feel comfortable saying it. Oh my god. Come on, Carl, you have to commit to the bit. You're doing all this criticism. You have to say it, Carl. Say it, Carl. Say it! Oh, God. But, you can't un-negroid. You can't un-negroid the cigarello, my guy. You can't undo it. The only way that you can make things right, if you're willing to go that far, is you'd have to go to every single content creator that you claim that you, quote, harassed, and now make, instead a content cop video, a apology cop video. You have to go back through the, content. You have to go back through the content, sit there, and every single time the Green Goblin Idubbz says something evil, Ian has to come onto the screen and say, I apologize. I'm sorry for every unchecked moment. For every I want to say it so goddamn bad. Oh my god! For every unchecked cigarette that I negroid, I apologize. It was very cringe of me. To criticize Jinx. You watch what you want. Steal as much content as you want. Who cares about fair use? Who cares about content controls? It's much more on my consciousness that you should be allowed to take content without actually being transformative. Humor and jokes is not transformative. It's just bullying. All of it's harassment and bullying. Buying things from a Japanese boxer so that I can review it in a room in front of a microphone. Who enjoys that? What kind of fucking... That's not content. That's 10-minute power hour without anything close to fucking Dan Avidan. It's giving pussy. That's what it's giving. It's giving cavernous. It's giving I wear a G-string to bed. It's giving everything. It's giving everything. fucking God. Do you have anything to add, Jay? I'm gonna take it as a no. Okay.
I guess if you want to, look out for people who are red flags, it's definitely people who had my mentality that say, I'm not responsible for what my audience does. I know that this...
Motherfucker, again, you're not responsible for what your audience does. If my audience goes out of their way to plan an event where they go and harass a content creator that is equal to or greater than the views of my channel, and they were to do the dumb shit that any breadtuber or anyone like you says, which is, come on, bro, we're just punching up. We're just punching up against the horrible ideas that we see. I would not be responsible for their harassment of another person. And, as has become normal for people like Destiny, and like myself, it's a cross-platform ban from all content. The old you would say, come on, bro, you can't treat your audience like that. But I would say, no. I'm not responsible for how my audience behaves, but I am responsible for how I choose to let this behavior happen. And I do nothing to punish the consequences of it. Am I responsible for them harassing a woman? Apropos of nothing? Because they thought, man, this would be really funny. Carl will really like this. No. But am I going to be responsible for seeing this happen and having said nothing about it to address the behavior? Yeah. And that's not what you're doing. You're saying, I feel so bad about what I used to do that I need to make it unambiguous that I'm any less of a bitch than I was 10 minutes ago, as I was 10 days ago, but just as much as I was 6 years ago. I'm saying, if somebody goes out and commits a hate crime and says, I dedicate this #1 hit to my negroid. I'm beating on this woman for you, Carl. I'm beating on this woman for you. If I were to sit here watching this live Carl footage that is synonymous with Christchurch, if I were the entire nation of Australia, if I was the entire nation of Australia and I saw somebody commit a hate crime with a nightstick, right? If I were to see somebody commit a hate crime with a nightstick and do the worst kind of hate crime, and then say something like, oh, I don't know, subscribe to PewDiePie at the height of T-Series versus PewDiePie, I would not be sitting there being like, oh my god, you just see that hit that got on her head? This man came in with a fucking McWaffle with a fucking cartoon swing and it said, no. I'm gonna be like, bro, that was a horrific action of violence, and I disavow every single person who committed this action in my name. That is not who I am, and I will not allow myself to be used by such bigotry and hateful energy in the world. That is not who I am, and I know that's not who I am. Now let me get back to screaming Negro at the top of my lungs in front of my live studio audience! Because that would be honest. And that's exactly what happened with Felix. Felix didn't ask for the tri-shirt shooter to commit the deaths of multiple Muslims inside of a mosque. Nobody had any energy to say, no, see PewDiePie, you might have started out by making silly, scary faces on things like videos of Owl Oni and play mixes of Happy Wheels. As you then started making the content that you started making as Loa. You might have been a haha funny man when you had Loa, but when I saw the words Sub 2 and PewDiePie on a rifle and being uttered by a massacrist for the purposes of accelerationism inside of a penal colony, it was just like when I was making fun of people on the internet. You gotta be crazy. You gotta be crazy. Dead ass. You got to be crazy. Oh, fucking Christ. Ugh. I think I might have actually sprained my foot there for a second.
This apology isn't enough. I've clearly done a lot of damage. You know, these videos have been up for a long time and have accumulated millions of views. I shouldn't be able to just make an apology video and walk away from it. This is something that I should live the rest of my life with.
You've already been living with it for your entire fucking career. What the fuck? You did not kill somebody, motherfucker. You're not O.J. Simpson.
And I expect to. I've profited off of this bigoted content for years, and I've made a successful career out of it, and that's not right. I think that this is only a step in the right direction, and
it's a step in the wrong. It is a marathon. It is the decathlon in the wrong direction. It's a decathlon in the wrong direction. You shouldn't ever think that, I enlisted videos that I now am embarrassed by, and I will full-throatedly apologize for what I believe is behavior that I can't stand by. But this exact same behavior that I displayed with Froggy Fresh, I'm gonna stay by that. That's gonna stay up on my channel. That's gonna stay up on my channel. I'm embarrassed about Jinx and Mojo. Fuck Froggy Fresh and fuck Sam Hard.
I know that a lot more needs to be done to even approach a life that I would think would be like acceptable.
Yeah. First, by starting by ending your marriage to Anissa Joma. 2, shaving that mustache off your fucking face. 3, getting rid of these fucking cringe trailer trash fucking tattoos you've plastered your body with. 4, cutting off that fucking mullet. 5, apologizing to the internet for ever allowing Anissa Joma to control your life, your content, and your career opportunities. And 6, a stand-up event with Sam Hyde. In that order.
I am running ads on this video, and any revenue generated from this video, I'm going to match and donate to an organization that, you know, would have been particularly affected by the type of rhetoric that I've been spewing on this channel.
Man drops 17 hard R's, 5 F's, 13 C's, and 57 D's throughout his entire career, and he thinks that donating to the double NACP is gonna help him. I'm sorry, I don't think there is enough organizations that are going to help you with your Trolls Remorse. But if you want to donate to one more charity who's been donated by your bullshit, consider donating to the United Negroid Cringe Foundation. Because the NCIF fund is dedicated to the documentation of such bullshit and cap on the internet. Because as you know, a Carl is a terrible thing to waste. And my brain cells are dying right now! Also, we gotta get more ice cream for Jay to clank on in the background.
I'm eating a stew, not ice cream.
I assumed it was ice cream. I didn't know it was beef stroganoff, bitch. Don't worry.
And again, this isn't the end of what I'm doing. This is just the start.
Yes, it's the beginning of the end.
I don't feel like a lot of this content.
This is the end.
Person,
my only friend. The end.
Probably perfectly represented me because I was a nasty, apathetic, insecure person.
I married a girl with a filthy rear end. The end.
Now that I don't feel like it represents me and I want to distance myself from it and keep it from, indoctrinating more people, I'd like to...
Indoctrination is when people watch a video and they don't become the thing that you have presented yourself as in the video.
Unlist the videos so that people, can access them still for whatever, purposes they might want to do that for.
Documentation of internet historia?
But it's not being proliferated on the website.
No, No, you stupid fuck! If people still have access to it, then it can be proliferated anywhere! You stupid fuck! What logic is that?
I feel like that's the best solution, at least for the time being. And for any...
It's the best solution in the opinion of you don't want to look like you're trying to erase it, but you are functionally attempting to erase it. Well, you see, I enlisted it, which is the committal that I have to not wanting that to be content that I'm proud of and stand by as part of my current image, along with all the other videos that are still up from that time period that I claimed that I was a spiteful, hateful, insecure little fucking nerd. But I also know that by unlisting them, it means that they won't be proliferated around the internet, as I continue to allow the videos to be accessible by, instead of being privated so that nobody can share the link around about them anymore, instead allowing people to access them for whatever purposes they might want. Like a comparison, for example, between the old Idubbz and the new bitch-made Idubbz. I'm very smart. I know how to give apology videos, guys.
Anyone who liked those videos, I want this video to be an example and a lesson for you. You can like content, but you can also think that it's irresponsible and it's hurting other people. So just tap into that part of your brain that's saying like, oh, okay, it's probably not that important that this video stays online because truthfully, I've seen it, I've experienced the content, but it's done a lot of damage. We can just let it go.
Nigga, this is not a movie. This is something that you cared passionately enough about that you wanted to go out of your way to spend time recording skits, making points, and editing a script for the purposes of presenting, just like you did for your documentaries. And these documentaries, as they were you willing to put your credibility and name on the line every time you chose to do them, taking higher and higher risks, whether you say it was for the art or it was for the artistry, didn't matter. If they're supposed to be things that, oh, I got the monetization out of it, it's just content, it doesn't really matter if the content's there, delete your channel. We've seen the Idubbz content. We don't need the Idubbz content anymore. Therefore, we will get new Idubbz content. We got Idubbz at home. We don't gotta worry about it no more. We just need to immediately take this and use this as a way to get this to help us do what we need to do, which is to help Idubbz get over his fucking regrets. Because we don't need to worry about all the old Idubbz videos. It's old content. It's tried and done. We don't need to be concerned about it. It's wild because it sounds facetious, but that's actually your words. That's the logic you're putting forth here. If I am embarrassed by the old Idubbz, I will delete the old Idubbz, and I will reforge the new Idubbz. But you're not. You know damn well that that's not what it's about.
I'm sorry to everyone that I made content cop videos on. I still don't like the majority of you, and that's fine, but I can recognize that you did not deserve the hate and harassment that I sent your way.
Harassment is not... excuse me. Started the sentence wrong. Criticism is not harassment or incitement. Just because I give an opinion and a take about someone does not give it as a green light for that to be like, oh, what's that? Carl said we don't like him? All right, time to break out the slurs against women. That's not how it works, Ian. That has never been how criticism works. Thinking that somebody like Hassan Piker is a lazy content creator and should not be allowed to take content from people for free. That he should be forced to stand next to his actions, and he should be forced to be a better content creator by actually being entertaining, by actually being able to bring quality to his work, instead of being a lazy clout chaser who is willing to chase trends and news and headlines, while staying on a platform which will reward him for being a leftist that doesn't look so fucking ugly, in the opinion of the people who like him like that. That they can be able to touch themselves at night while thinking, oh yeah, he's so hot and he's so dumb. I love how the way that he talks shit about politics. I love when he gets mocked by people who live in the country of a war zone about how they're actually not being harassed by the Russian state. Oh, I love being able to watch propaganda. In the same breath that I can criticize that, I can also say, and even though I don't like this man, and would not care if he got robbed, I don't wish that his house would get burgled, because then he might die. And even if he were to not be in this world anymore, he doesn't deserve to have his shit stolen by people who have extreme envy. It'd be extremely funny. Because listen, you're already rich. Who cares if you lost your house? You have more money. You can buy another mansion. But no, even if it'd be funny if the fucking millionaire commie whose career path was made for him by his uncle was to get robbed right now, and somebody were to get the live leak footage of them breaking into the house, and as they cracked the butt of the rifle against his head, they said, the Negroid sent his regards. Crack! Even if that was to happen right now in response, I would still disavow this horrendous action of extreme violence. Because I don't like seeing people get hate crimed just because somebody thought it'd be funny for a bit. It'd be funny, but it wouldn't be, ha ha, I brought harassment and incitement against the people I hate. Fear me, I am the YouTube kingpin. Ha ha funny. It's the, hey, remember that guy who advocates for all these stupid ass policies but will never have that happen to him in his backyard? His backyard was just lit on fire with kerosene. Yeah, everything's burning right now! They wrote commies get the bullet too, and then drew a giant face of some guy hysterically laughing like the Joker. Nobody knows who he is! I'm talking too much. Jay, what is your opinion? I need to rest my voice. Do you have no opinion? None? Really? Okay.
I particularly want to apologize to Tana, Tana, I'm sorry. I should have never made that video. I harassed Tana in person and then harassed her online. And that's deplorable behavior. It's so stupid. I'm also sorry to all the black viewers and my...
She's in the kitchen, isn't she? Jay, are you in the kitchen? Carl, she won't hear you. She's probably using headsets. Yeah. We gotta wait, chat. We have to wait. I need her here for this part. As I know she's got something to say. I apologize to all the blacks. I apologize to my blacks. The blacks, you probably felt the most embarrassed from what I said here. It was really cringe of me how I chose to say that. I feel like I failed. I feel like I failed everyone. I imagine when you all heard me scream that word at the top of my lungs, just like she was embarrassed, you were embarrassed too. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm reading super chats because I have to wait for Jake because she's still not back yet. Also, again, thank you for the super chats, everybody. I hear Jay returning to her microphone. I hear Jay putting on her headset. Giovanni for $5. I bet when Rice Gum comes back, he will capitalize on this limp sock alternative, piling Idubbz to the ground. I don't know. I don't think Rice Gum can be the one to do that. Leafy could be the one to do that, but probably not in this regimen. He'd have to do it on Rumble. It's okay to enjoy my old videos and point out how harmful they are. What do you think he is? Feminist frequency? Listen, if you were to tell me that he were to get into a room with Anita Sarkeesian and he didn't try to show that he still has the old Idubbz in there, kind of like Joji at that cinematic event where he turned into Pink Guy for like half a second before continuing with the skit. I would be laughing my ass off if somehow he could trick Anita Sarkeesian into doing an OnlyFans shoot with Anissa, and he demonstrated how easy it would be to infiltrate the supposed left, and then he like revealed that this was all a bit, and he's like, "Ha! I got you. I pranked you," and then did that. That would be actual humor. Maybe because he would have forced an audience to see Anita Sarkeesian naked, and that's a joke in and of itself. Jay, are you back yet?
Yep.
Okay. I needed you here for the I apologize for blacks.
I particularly want to apologize to Tana. Tana, I'm sorry. I should have never made that video. I harassed Tana in person and then harassed her online, and that's deplorable behavior. It's so stupid. I'm also sorry to all the black viewers and my viewers who had to put up with that video and put up with, you know, the phrases. I said either it's all okay or none of it's okay, and that's just so dangerous and stupid.
When having criticism and willing to do things for the purposes of being abrasive, either it's all okay or none of it's okay. Listen. I'm not saying that the Holocaust was bad, but either it was all okay or none of it was okay. Oh, fucking God. Oh, what a bitch. Oh my. What framework can I be able to use to explain how that's retarded? I don't even think I want to attempt it. Not right now at this moment.
I have made content that I'm proud of over the years. It hasn't been as consistent as maybe I'd like it to have been, but you know, there is a lot of content that I think had a net positive on the world, and you know, I'm going to strive to continue on that trend. But again, I'm absolutely going to continue to make mistakes, but I want the mistakes to be a lot smaller and a lot less serious.
Your life is less small and less serious.
I also want to give some clarity to the post-fight speech that I gave. I mean, it wasn't a speech. It was a phrase. I was like,
you know, I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
This nigga's so fucking concussed that he actively can't say the words. Is he crying? Is he giving a speech? Yes. Oh, fucking God. Have you ever seen a worse vision of white trash in your life?
But I really do appreciate the support, and
I appreciate the sport so much that my wife can't even bear to look at me as I cry about the shit that I wanted to say and do after I lost an event. Just look at the grimace in her face, the way that her pursed lips are sitting there next to my extremely near bare body with this fucking tattoo that is directly out of fucking Cobra Kai. I am definitely Hawk. I am definitely like Hawk. Maybe I should have dyed my hair blonde too, so I could match, you know, with her queef hairs.
Why are my tattoos so ill-placed? Like, how the fuck did a tattoo artist get under my arm?
you know, thank you for...
That's all you can do! That's the best part! I know I took a screen cap of this when the shit happened, but I need you guys to understand this. Just remove the mic. Just remove the sound. Okay? Just remove the sound. Just remove the sound and just look at this event. Okay? Just look at this. This man is effectively weeping as he gives his speech about how, I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, as I got my ass whooped in front of millions of people. My wife is just sitting there, just making a face. She's just rubbing my shoulder constantly. She's just like, there, babe. It's okay. I'll make sure that I give you a nice jerk off when we get home. Again, it'll all be better. It'll all be better. Ah, you're a pussy. Ah, you're a pussy.
that was addressing the people over the years that I neglected and I left behind.
When I said Negroid, when I said the equivalent of Negroid cigarello, I was leaving the blacks behind. Oh, shamna shinda, shamna shamna, oh shamna shimne, oh shamna shamna. Every single time I said slurs, I was leaving you behind. Woosah, woosah. Every time I said a slur, I was embarrassing you. I'm gonna start swinging my camera to Jay so she can see the stupid shit I'm doing.
Every time I said I'm gay, I died a little. Every time I say I have clinical depression.
It actually might not be able to use my camera because my fucking app's currently using the camera. Shit. Every single time I said that Jinx was embarrassing, I was mocking blacks. I left you behind. I left you behind. Every joke I made about the Jews, I was leaving you behind. Every jokes I made about Mexicans and Hispanics, calling them wetbacks, I left you behind. And it was because it wasn't running faster. It's so fucking stupid. apologies for the whites in your audience. Not you. You're not white anymore. You're just a fucking liberal.
You know, the people whose feelings I, didn't take into consideration, those are the people who I was addressing as, I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea. Anyone who thinks that I should be shouting the N-word from the rooftops, I don't want to be your cup of tea. Now I want to talk about...
Yeah, see, I don't care about you screaming any variation of nigga from your lungs. That's not what we care about. We care about this social preening that you're doing as you attempt to claim that actually I am better than you because I won't say the word anymore. I've already made the money off it, but I am better than you and I don't want to be your content creator. And specifically on the point of wanting to apologize to Tana. No, the actual way to apologize to Tana is for her to socially haze you. That's the only apology that you can give in that event. That's the only thing that will make that situation correct. The apology must match the infraction and offense, and the punishment for it must match the same energy. She doesn't need to scream it at the top of her lungs, and she doesn't need to say that word to begin with. But what she should do is she should show up at one of your events, Creator Clash 3 maybe. She should show up at one of your events, and she should socially haze the shit out of you. And don't say nothing. Don't do a goddamn thing. Don't try to remove her. Don't do nothing. Just take it. Take it like you're gonna take it tonight by your wife. As you watch Bubbles pwn your wife again for the 15th time this month. Just don't say nothing. Just cry your little fucking Indian tear and say, this is what I deserve. This is what I deserve. Since you're in the mood of flagating yourself so goddamn much.
Events and situations that have happened over the past 5 years of my life that have led me to the place I'm at now.
Namely, by jumping into the trailer trash pussy that is your wife.
One year I was at a convention and a bunch of fans were, wanting pictures. And this particular fan came up to me and said, I know you probably don't like transgender people, but can I, get a picture? That smacked me in the face. I was like, oh, holy shit. Why would you think that? But I mean, it was fairly obvious. I was
considering I never say anything about trans people.
You see, when I make social humor on the internet as a dirtbag leftist, that automatically means that if I don't say, and I love tranny dick, that I clearly hate transgenders. That's how it works. If I don't full-throatedly say I support every single viewpoint under the sun, that means that I don't like your viewpoint. Which is a very easy way for somebody to socially manipulate me by demonstrating how much of a bitch I am about where my values actually belie and stand. I'm very smart. I'm very smart.
Hateful, bigoted, and being very uncaring about people's feelings. That is a very fair assessment to make. I was giving this person bad vibes, and I think I've given a lot of people extremely bad vibes.
You give your wife bad vibes every fucking night as you turn more and more into her corncob. Unregrettably, unfunnily, how does she entertain herself with you? IJ, sister. Tell your sister I said hi. Or unless that was her from the kitchen. It was probably Jay from the kitchen. Who knows?
Yeah, she said hey.
Hello.
She's gone though.
Aww.
That was very important for me to experience was I went on a boxing podcast. I was basically like trying to walk back my Tana content cop. I was still very like insecure and uncomfortable with the fact that I made that video, and but I was still coping. You'll see me struggle in this clip to, say that it was wrong.
So I just wanted to let you talk on that, right? Because obviously using the N-word is definitely frowned upon by...
Man, look at this. Look at this Chicano. Look at this man in his White Sox cap. This man is more of a nigga than you could ever be.
A lot of people, especially by a non-African American, but I was just curious.
That was a very weird video because I wanted to like criticize her for her like sort of flagrant use of it. I've been pretty flagrant about it too, not in the same way. I thought there was a message to be shared there. And
here's a question: why the fuck are you addressing something like this on a boxing podcast? Like, how did you broach this conversation? Well, Carl, if you watch the content, it'll probably explain itself. No, nigga. Explain the situation, because you're just showing something to me and saying, I was on a boxing podcast, and all of a sudden, this man just started to scream nigga at the top of his lungs, and it startled me. And he was like, "Why? You startled by that, bro? You saying worse shit than this? Why does this scare you? You scared of niggas? Huh? Fuck you, little fucking ass bitch. Yeah. Why don't you talking that shit, bitch? Yeah."
I don't think it was particularly... It was okay in criticizing her, but I think I probably wasn't the person to deliver the message, if that makes sense. There was a message that I was trying to put out there, and I'm not really the person to put out that message. I don't regret making the video. I think, there's...
How nice of you to have to put a timestamp on this. April 18th, 2022. Today is May 19th. A year and a day to the date. What happened in that year, Idubbz? What happened?
To be shared there, and I don't think it was particularly... It was okay in criticizing her, but I think I probably wasn't the person to deliver the message, if that makes sense. There was a message that I was trying to put out there, and I'm not really the person to put out that message. I don't regret making the video. I think there's bits and pieces to take from it that I think are valuable, but I probably
still coping. He says, as he says the actual intelligent words, there are bits and pieces to take from it. I think the main idea that I'm trying to get across here, if I needed to get this across to you, audience, because you needed me to tell you that the curtains are fucking Lion King sheets. In any criticism you can give in life, through content, through life goals, through relationship and career and goal opportunities, you don't have to agree 100% with what everything is said by somebody. You don't have to. You should be able to think for your own volition about what you want, who you are, and how you want to broach it. You do not need me to tell you how to wipe your ass. You don't need me to tell you why you should support something, and that if you don't support it 100%, that you're not really my fan. You don't need to do that. Jay's probably not going to tell you to do that. I hope she wouldn't tell you to do that.
No.
Nobody of their salt is going to tell you you must listen and believe to 100% of the shit that I say and do, and if you don't, you're not a real fan. Unless they're somebody who wants to socially manipulate you. People who want to socially manipulate you? Yeah, they'll probably tell you that if you don't listen to everything they say and do and believe, that you're not a real fan. But therein lies the problem, really. Everything has a good and a bad. And even in things that I do with Jay, it might seem that if you were to listen to the footage and to the videos in question, if she ever does release things like the full raws, that I just have nothing positive to say about anything. But that is not true. I struggle sometimes to find something positive to say about something, because it requires finding something that can be put in a positive light. Like, oh man, the creative choice they made to insult my heritage on Interview with a Vampire, while at the same time not understanding that Bourbon Street is literally right next to Storyville, and therefore the business acumen of people to burn down one of the most profitable districts next to the red light district is fucking bizarre and crazy and weird. And that is a positive thing, I could say, because look, they understood where this is, but not really. It was really a creative choice that that Queen Cleopatra, a biopic series, would embellish history and then when they get criticized for actually Cleopatra was black because she lived in Egypt. Look at all the people who lived in Egypt. They were clearly Nubians. Therefore, she was black. When we have seen for a fact, and we have traced her lineage down to her fucking genomes, with all of the best world's physiognomy, that no, she was a white Greek Macedonian, who was really on the homely side, that was only attractive to men at the time because women of the time didn't understand things like warfare and craft. But don't let Jada Pinkett Smith tell you different. She was a black queen, y'all. I can't, there's nothing creative in Rings of Power. I was going to try to say something good about that, but there's nothing creatively good about that show. In all of these works that we can criticize, in all of these events and people that we can criticize, we can always find good and bad nuggets of information. Just because you don't like the thing that a person says does not mean you should throw the baby out with the bathwater. Because if all it takes is for somebody to say, actually, I disagree with something that he said, but I agree with the spirit and sentiment of what he said, that is basically saying, oh, Nazi liked drinking water and breathing air too. Guess we better stop drinking air and breathing water. Pause.
Just realized what you said.
I started saying it as a bit, but I'm like, hey, wait, did I say them in my order? I don't think I did. What did he mean by that, chat? Was Carl being retarded, or was he making a deep dig that was actually a psychological double take? You decide! My point is, if all you ever made when you criticized people was harassment, then it means anytime you ever say anything about anything ever in the future should only ever be seen from the viewpoint of the person who's in the event and situation, which means you shouldn't be doing commentary anymore. You are admitting in this video that you do not have the mind and you do not have the temperament for commentary. Delete your commentary channel. Unlist your commentary channel. Make a new channel. Produce new content. Lay to rest the identity of Idubbz. Become yourself. Become one of those YouTubers who uses your real name. Or at least a version of your government name. Be like Khadija Mabawe. Only ever talk about things on your wavelength. Don't talk about any social events again. Don't talk about any public events again. Keep your opinion to your fucking self.
They would make it these days. I'm very grateful to those guys and how they broached the subject because, you know, it didn't put me on the defensive. It just made me realize, like, I'm stupid.
Yes, you are.
Yep.
Stupid, and I really need to, like, acknowledge these things. Like, what am I doing? I'm still trying to make excuses for myself and, like, you know, why I made that video. It's like, it was a dumb idea. I harassed someone. I was saying slurs, and I was trying to justify it all. A very big thing that has sort of altered my view on all of this is just the amount of hate and harassment my wife, Anissa, has received over the years.
Mockery because of the fact that you had a hypocritical opinion that you only turned on the moment your wife made an OnlyFans after saying that she would never make an OnlyFans until she was down bad for starving attention and then demonstrated she was down bad for that starving attention, that you then pushed yourself into saying, oh no, I love the fact my wife's doing this, and that you only call it hate and harassment because now your wife's nudes were purchased legally through her OnlyFans by Sam Hyde and viewed by the entire fucking world audience, or at least the people watching that content. Is not harassment and incitement. It is just social mockery entirely centralized to your coping. Deal with it. You are public content creators. Stop publishing this shit to the internet for purchasable funds, or get over it. See, the old Idubbz would put out the porn for free. He'd make porn of himself and put it right up next to his wife's nudes. He'd be like, absolutely, baby. Absolutely, baby. Ching, 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 ching. Jay, you can't see it, but I'm shaking my ass at the camera. Ching, 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 ching. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, baby. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, baby. If my wife can do it, I can do it too. You would be right there next to her. And do you know what would be hilarious about it? That would be the strongest thing you could do as a man who respects your wife in your relationship. Granted, me, personally, I would say that it's disrespectful of your wife to you trying to claim and justify it for her because your wife is her own autonomous individual. Why would you ever need to say, I'm good with OnlyFans because your wife's doing it? You can be not okay with OnlyFans and still support your wife, but still not approve of what she's choosing to do. Because, you see, the harassment, the criticism that Carl's giving, that you need to understand about your wife's copium, the fact that she was justifying her actions because she wanted attention and money from fucking horny assholes on the internet that wanted to simp for her, is that in your need to defend her, the justification that you claim that actually if you really support women and women's rights, you'll support women being whores on the internet for money, is that when you tried to cope yourself out the situation, when you tried to justify that actually, when you said that you cared about these things and that you cared about your wife and that you cared about supporting sex workers and you never had a problem with sex work, that what you really were doing was being uncomfortable with the fact that your wife was putting all of that shit out there and that you knew that this day would come where somebody would make you feel embarrassed and her embarrassed because they were willing to put your principles to the test and see how fast you would buckle. You got mad because you were shown to not be the social warrior you thought yourself to be. You were embarrassed when that shit came to light then, and you were embarrassed again when it came to light because of Sam Hyde. And you couldn't say that, nah, bro, I can't believe that happened because your wife was willing to put it up for money, which means that anybody could have purchased it. You just never considered for any amount of time, just like you didn't consider who would take the content from there, that somebody would be willing to commit to the bit and demonstrate how far your actual principles and standards go. And your principles and standards go pretty far until you end up getting embarrassed for them. It is not a good look to say, I support sex work, and then the moment that you get exposed, or the moment you get embarrassed because of the content that you put there, actually, no. This is embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. We and her are going to collectively try to deplatform every single leak from the internet, and then get angry again when it's not leaked, but published by you and purchased by somebody that you decided is now your intimate fucking rival. It is extremely cringe. It is extremely cringe, my guy. And no, even though you supported her, she still won't fuck you that way. It's weird, Idubbz. It's weird. Why isn't your wife pregnant? Why aren't you creating a family? Why aren't you focusing on the real things that matter? Like being a family man. Being a family channel. Why aren't you focused on any of those things that should actually be important? No, not possible. It's just scope. It's just scope. It's just scope all the way down. Yeah, okay.
Years, she's had to deal with it from the beginning of our relationship, and I have done a horrible job at acknowledging her and her feelings for it. A lot of the time, I just thought that was her problem, or that was
It is her problem.
It is.
other people's problem. Like, it's not my problem that you're getting hate and harassment. And it's like, no, it absolutely is.
The chat is distracting me because there's people saying that Gila Klein has finally left Ethan. Who knows?
What?
I don't know. People are not giving the details. They're not dropping links. I have no clue.
Is, you know, that's the culture.
Check Twitter.
We'll address that in a moment. Don't bust that nut yet. Jen will be right back with the details.
That I cultivated, and I, didn't do anything to change that. Over the years,
Oh my god.
this is just the amount of hate and harassment my wife Anissa has received over the years. She's had to deal with it from the beginning of our relationship, and I have done a horrible job at acknowledging her and her feelings for it. A lot of the time, I just thought that was her problem, or that was other people's problem. Like, it's not my problem that you're getting hate and harassment. And it's like, no, it absolutely is. That's the culture that I cultivated. And
the culture that I cultivated is when I said I didn't care, and then I demonstrated that I did care, but I couldn't demonstrate the reasons why I didn't care. I will do this step for you, Ethan. It's very fucking easy. It's very fucking easy. I support sex work, but I am uncomfortable if my wife publishes pictures of herself in various states of undress to the internet, comma, because while I respect people who choose to do shit on the side for money with their body, she is married to me, and I know that my audience and the audience of people who want to criticize me will find a way to justify personally attacking me by attacking her to make me have to move on her behalf. Because, what? You don't want to defend your woman? Ain't that your wife? You just gonna let this happen? And I have to realize that in my desire to support my partner, people are going to push and prod and pull and antagonize her and me. And I, as the man in this relationship and the well-platformed content creator in this relationship, have to make it clear that this is a test. And as a test, I need to let her understand that behind the scenes, babe, I'm here for you. But in front of the camera, I cannot buckle. I cannot buckle. Stiff upper lip. Stiff upper jawline. Stiff upper ball sack. I can't budge. Cause the moment that I crack, they're gonna harass her harder. Period. That's the entire statement you have to say. That's not as chinchy as, I love my wife and I love my porn. Now is it? It's a lot more wordy. It's not as snappy. It's not as catchy, is it? But it's what you have to say. No, just because I support my wife doing this does not mean that I don't have my reservations. And no, every single time, every Idubbz cooked meme, every moment that Sam Hyde continues to troll me on Twitter.com, that does not mean that every person who's seeing this must be a hateful bigot in the audience that I don't want to represent. That's not how that works. It's not how that works. It's never been how that works. And when your wife chooses to consent to publishing herself on the internet for any amount of money, even if it was for $3, not $3 and free cents, where the only thing that's being taken is her self-confidence, as she gets antagonized by people who want to do nothing but to irritate you and her collectively. And I don't mean people who want to spank it to her body while at the same time saying, oh my god, I can't believe this bitch. You're not even that attractive. As they fucking frost their screens. When people look at you and say, don't you feel uncomfortable that your wife's doing this? Don't cope and say, what, you hate women? Don't you understand that being a woman is being a whore online? You can say, yes, I support my wife, but I still have my reservations. And no, I don't think differently of my wife because she chooses to do this. And it's sad that people are harassing her, but at the same time, there are people who they don't care a single bit about me or her. They just find that my sheepish position is really weak. And like a sheepdog, I can't commit to defending what I think is valuable and right, because I can't decide what is actually valuable and right to me. Because it changes so often with whomever it is I must be apologizing to. All you gotta do is learn how to actually apologize. Learn what you actually need to apologize for. But no, you're not gonna do that. That's too easy.
I, didn't do anything to change that. Over the years it's changed a little bit, but I don't think I've still fully acknowledged how responsible I am for the amount of harassment that Anissa has had to deal with. And this year I decided to speak more candidly and be more open about who I am as a person and to speak on my life a little bit more.
Translation, he became even bigger of a pussy.
And I did that on Anthony Padilla's podcast.
Of course it was Anthony.
These are the people that I'm attracting. These are the people that I'm entertaining. Like, I need to...
That Jada Pinkett...
They're relating.
It's funny every time.
Every time.
That Jada Pinkett... It's so fucking fake every
And
time.
That's not maybe the same reason that I'm
As fake as that fucking fireplace in the background.
trying to make. I had a very Wild West mentality when it came to online behavior. Like, people are going to do what they want to do. People are going to say what they want to say. And I can pretty much do the same because it's the internet. But I think you have to be a lot more responsible.
In other words, ban those assholes from my channel. I don't want them near me. Responsible for my actions and learning who I'm supposed to be accountable to? No. Everybody needs to be deplatformed. Get rid of that man with the ego Vegeta profile picture. He made fun of my wife's titties.
If you guys are at all
Clearly, Carl's titties are best. I can get both fucking thumbs right into the meat of these motherfuckers and jiggle them like jello. Clearly, I am the superior woman.
interested in how I've arrived here, that video gives, you know, a good bit of context and talks about some of my life a little bit.
It gives no context, and it's not necessary for this apology. Why are you showing me this shit in an apology video? We're supposed to be sorry for your old trollish ways. What the fuck?
There is a clip from this interview that's been floating around the internet, and it's me calling my fans antisocial and basement dwellers, and I was like, I didn't like, you know, interacting with my
Why don't you just play the clip instead of trying to preface it?
fans. I just want to be clear, like, that was my realization. I think a lot of people are like, of course that happened, is because you were creating that culture and you were attracting those people. And it's like, yes, I know. I know now. I didn't know before. It was my...
I didn't know before. I wasn't ever looking at the way that people socially interacted on my content and my videos. I didn't realize that antisocial assholes that love to be misanthropic were going to use my personality type as a justification for their worldview, and if they were ever confronted about it, they said, "What, bro? If you're gonna criticize me, bro, you're gonna have to criticize Idubbz." What? You don't agree with Idubbz? Idubbz acts like this. This is how you know that Carl is a voice actor, because his muscle man is perfect. Anyways, listen, bro, listen. If you don't like the fact that my opinion is the exact same as my favorite content creator, and they have a bigger platform than you, then you just need to say that you don't like criticism, bro. What, bro? You don't like when I talk about it, bro? Yo, bro, you need to stop being a little bitch, bro. Bro, you need to just understand that we're just smarter than you, and you can't handle it. It's the internet, bro. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch it, but you're still here, aren't you? Because you need the attention, bro. You just need to stop it, bro. What pedantic bitch do you need to be to not understand that when people are using you as a justification, that you need to say, no, everything that I say here on this point is obvious, but this little bitch does not represent me. How easy is that? How easy is that to do? I can do it every single motherfucking time I need to, motherfucker. It ain't hard. It ain't hard. But you can't do that. You can't say, I love all my fans, but fuck them motherfuckers over there that don't like to eat pussy. We some pussy eating motherfuckers over here. No, you can't do that. That's not possible for you to do. You can't say, actually, you created a culture and an environment they thrive on. No, what I did is that I made it clear that I love a little bit of misogyny, but these motherfuckers actually hate women. Do you feel me? Are you sniffing what the Carl is putting down? It's a very thick lager, miles long, longer than you, but not as long as the trail that's gonna be fucking your wife.
My realization upon, you know, meeting more and more fans that I was like, oh shit, you guys are struggling. It was easy for me to identify them struggling when they were outside of my body. But the antisocial basement-dwelling incel that was inside here...
The antisocial basement dweller that was inside. He's still in there. He's getting cucked by his wife as she uses him to justify and make herself into the new Susie. You can't be saved. You can't be saved. I was going to say you could still be saved, but you can't be saved. An incel is when I don't identify with the core audience that I was willing to exploit to make my career possible, and that I will now dumpster as I pull the ladder up behind myself so I can watch you all fuck my wife in front of me. Carl, you're harassing his wife. No, I'm making jokes at his expense about his wife. If he comes to my channel and watches my content and says, see, this is the exact kind of person I'm talking about, I'm going to get up there right in your face and be like, excuse me, Mr. Man, you said you don't tolerate that kind of behavior, harassment, and content anymore. So why don't you say that shit to my fucking face? And then when you come onto a podcast with me, where you have to now argue, listen, Carl, you shouldn't have said what you said, I'm going to look you in your fucking eye through the camera and be like, bitch, do you think that I have enough animosity to dislike you and your wife and hate you with the energy that you think I have? Are you so retarded as to believe that you are so important to this universe that everything you say has to be a word people hang on the edge of? No, you are not important. You are just a content creator. And like every other content creator that's done the exact same thing that you have, your career will fall by the wayside and your relevancy will be a he used to be, not a he is. You used to be a person who could make points. You used to be a person who could have opinions and could understand the difference between being an asshole and being an asshole with a point. You used to be somebody who understood what it meant to be a content creator, and that you are always going to be on the edge of what you think, what you believe, and changing into a person that reflects your current values, not the current year values. You used to be Idubbz, but now you're just fucking Ian. I'm gonna sit there, staring at you, through the camera, just like this, quiet as fuck, after I say that sentence. Because it requires shame for you to understand that. The only reason you're apologizing is because you are being shamed into merciless, vicious mockery. And that is the correct response. And the harassment, the criticism, will continue until you get this shit through your fucking head. No, you don't get to define the narrative as, I was just becoming less of an asshole. You've always been an asshole. You're just an asshole who's gotten a troll's remorse context and commentary about himself. Because he desperately wants to fit in. He desperately wants to become H3H3. He desperately wants to make a podcast of himself so that he can have Anissa sitting next to him as he talks about social views and opinions. He desperately wants to be a new big content creator so he can platform other people, calling himself a kingmaker as he demonstrates that his social viewpoints begin and end where the humor about his wife starts.
I couldn't acknowledge that. I couldn't recognize that. So I needed the mirror to be...
Also, you're not an incel if you're getting sex, even if it's very loveless, sexless sex.
...held up to me. In closing, I want to say that I have always thought that I was an empathetic person, because I thought, well, I get angry, I get sad, of course I got empathy. Seems easy, right? Empathy? I definitely have that. There were moments where like
You definitely do not have that, because sympathy and empathy are not the same thing as having emotions. This is actually super sad. I dislike the worst kind of content for me to listen to and criticize, where people say something along the lines of, I'm empathetic or I'm logical, but I totally wouldn't think about doing something or saying something like that. No, the word you're looking for is rational. One side of the spectrum is logic. The other side of the spectrum is emotion. Pure logic is apathy, apropos of the consequences of someone's actions. Pure emotion is tantrums, never-ending tantrums, where you are crying profusely while you're incapable of parsing your anger from your sadness, from your embarrassment. You want to be rational. Equal or balanced parts of logic and emotion. Ethos, logos, pathos. You betray your emotions to your eros, your love, air quotes, for your wife. And so, in defense of your wife, as you've always been, since you decided to date and get married to her, in Las Vegas, mind you, in the same way that you have been trying to defend your wife from the consequences of your logic and your actions as they get used against you because you can't make a point and you're not salient in making these points, You believe that being a empathetic person is when you do things on reaction from other people and try to get ahead of a narrative. It is not. A rational content creator would understand the difference between being proactive and reactive, and would proactively solve his problems. Period. Stop using buzzwords that you don't understand.
Dog would die in a film and I'd cry. So it's like, of course I have empathy. But
That's not empathy, that's sympathy. You're sympathetic to a creature that is dying in a film, which is the point of emotions, to move you while you're watching a piece of art. Are you fucking stupid? My God.
I never did. I think only in these past couple of years have I gained the ability empathy, and I'm very ashamed to admit
Sympathy, not empathy.
that.
Empathizing with people's emotions is not what you need to be doing. You need to be understanding and sympathizing with why they might feel that way, and then understand how to move accordingly from there based on the rationale of not letting them control you. You are letting your ethos and your pathos control you because you don't have control of yourself.
It sounds really pathetic to
Because it is.
say at the age of 32 I've
Nigga, you are old!
acquired empathy, but I have, and I've realized it because I just like can't help myself but like feel for other people's pain and suffering now.
Hey, you feel for the pain and suffering I have when I watch a man cut his balls off in real time? Well, you can't hear it, but it's going snip, 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 snip.
I'm still not perfect.
You will never be perfect. You're not even half decent. You're not even mad decent. And you're certainly not funny. Your God knows you're not mad funny.
You know, I think that is, you know, my empathy meter's only maybe like a quarter of the way filled up, potentially. But it's at least there. And I just want you guys to know that you can unlock ability empathy if you...
I'm an asshole, but I'm an asshole with a heart. And if you just learn to stop making fun of my wife's pussy...
If you stop slathering A1 on the beef curtain.
If you just learn to cut your balls off, hand them to your wife, let her lock them away in your purse, and wave bye-bye to them, bye-bye, as they leave you like Link leaving behind the Korok mask and Majora's mask, you too can learn to like women.
You know, experience more life. It might take you getting hurt a little bit, but it's worth it. It is so worth it. So thank you for watching, everyone. I do want to create more regular content, and you know, I don't want to just have the next 5 videos be apologies. So I have uploaded a squirrel video on my second channel if you want to watch that. I guess as one final thing, I just want to thank everyone who's given me the space and the compassion to grow as a person, because it's taken...
Growing as a person is when you're a hypocrite to your own personal values and then change what those values are so that you no longer get mocked for them, and then hide away from the internet because you can't deal with criticism. And you call all criticism harassment and incitement because you don't like being the center of attention.
Longer than it probably should have. I appreciate everyone, and I think most importantly, I appreciate my wife, Anissa. She has been insanely compassionate and helpful and patient in you know, allowing me to grow over the years, and has legitimately encouraged me to be a better person. And not...
Is that what this was? Is that what this was? I don't know. Sure, if I'm gonna be able to find it by physically looking for it. Where is it? 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 There it is. There it is. Back, back, back. Is that what she was? Is that what was happening here? This was her giving you the space to grow and be compassionate? Is that what this... Is that what that face was? Damn, Ian. Damn.
She has She was the one who said that I should try this boxing thing.
My wife was the one who came up with the idea for this content creator shit. She specifically needed to have an outlet, and I wasn't giving her anything, and Lord knows I can't get her pregnant.
I would have never done that on my own because I was insecure and I was pathetic.
Being insecure and pathetic is not the same thing as I didn't think of having an event idea that literally everybody's fucking done.
I love how you said he was insecure and pathetic because he didn't do unboxing videos.
I was insecure and pathetic that I didn't think to make a burger restaurant. But because my wife bullied me into doing it, I am a better man for it. I am such a strong man.
This, and I am so glad I did. It's been amazing. So,
Including the parts where you harassed content creators because of who their associations were?
Anissa, I love you. You're amazing.
I wrote the video, honey. Can I please have my dick sucked now?
He will not.
Can I have my dry dick sucked now? Like the dick that you made me snip so I wouldn't ever jizz anymore?
Right now you're streaming, but bon voyage, toodles.
What a cringe way to end a video.
Bon voyage, toodles. Toodles!
Toodaloo, tiddly tom, tee. Oh my fucking god. I dislike having to watch a man's balls get broken in real time. It's still funny though.
It was making me laugh. Is that his outro reminds me of that fucking scene from The Sopranos where like Melfi was buzzed on wine and like she bumped into Tony at this restaurant. She said toodaloo. And then, like they cut to her at her shrink, and she's like killing herself over saying toodaloo. And she's like toodle fucking ooh. What the fuck was that? Just like imagine I just be like, what? Like toodles. What the fuck did I just say?
Man got himself sitting there on his leg, kicking his legs like, oh my god. Oh my god, I just love my wife so much. I destroyed my entire credibility for her, bro. I just love my wife so much, man. I just I'm not quite good at doing the Pops laugh. I can't do it. If with practice, maybe. Oh my god. So, what was your takeaway from this, Jay?
That people have no clue what the hell growth and change is. Because I see people praise, like, he grew up, man. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Have you been watching this shit? Have you been watching his behavior for the past few years? What are you talking about? This is de-evolution. He's going backward. He's slowly turning to sludge. That's how he's de-evolving.
The worst thing about this is that if you were to then click on something like, motherfucker, don't try to block this video, or don't tell me he took down. Oh no, he did not take down influencer boxing. Wonderful. Why I hate influencer boxing. Just gonna mute this and let this play in the background. I cannot, for the life of me, imagine how a person can go from a year ago. I'm not sure if it's quite a year to the day, but I don't know how a person can go from, I hate influencer boxing and I never want to be a part of it, and it's cringe, and these guys are just doing nothing but bringing an embarrassment to the sport of boxing. It would be smart if I was not the kind of person that would make content like this and then immediately turned on that kind of content that he decided to make because he got Yoko Ono'd. Personally, I can't be me. This is not growth and change. This is regression into sludge. This is regression into an amoeba, into a creature. This is reversion into a tardigrade. The desire to be so involved in things for attention and money. I physically feel bad. He has physically made my balls hurt. Okay? I ache in my manhood at how weak this fucking human expression of gender is. This is embarrassing on all counts for everybody involved. This is not a man anymore. This Ursine creature is not a man. This is the font of what, when we watched that video about what the left thinks a man is, this new male, this is not a man. This is a woman with testicles. This is a woman with testicles who does not know that growth means you need to actually be a person who has grown. Because getting mad that the internet is holding you to account is not growth. It would be easier, it would be smarter, it would be good if you actually knew what the fuck that was and is, but you don't. Who knows if you'll ever learn? But that's not my job. No, my job is to laugh. My job is actually to try to teach. To make this into a teachable moment. If I had to give my advice on this, if I had to tell Idubbz what he needed to do to survive this, you need to learn how the fuck to deal with criticism. Because you clearly haven't. This entire time. You very clearly haven't learned how to deal with criticism. You don't know how to grow. You don't know how to change. You don't know how to show growth and how to show change. You know how he could have started by showing growth and change? Not making that apology video, while still standing 10 toes behind what you did to Froggy Fresh. I'm with Employment on this, in this situation, on that regard. You claim that you want to disavow this behavior, and yet you did that very same behavior to Froggy Fresh. Where's Froggy's apology? Where's Froggy's apology? Where's Sam's Hyde apology? Are you gonna apologize to Sam Hyde for trying to do exactly what you claim that you didn't do, but then admitted on a podcast, several podcasts actually, that it was what you wanted to do? You wanted to try to socially haze and embarrass him? And instead of realizing, maybe I shouldn't have come out here with the mean-spiritedness that I did, and I should have just wanted to hang out with you and see, what you were about, learn about the $1 million extreme. Instead of trying to make an example of you, I should have explained what it is that I thought, and use this as a teaching experience to see from your viewpoint. No, can't do that. But you want people to see and hear from your viewpoint? You want people to see and hear you? Really? That's strange. It's weird. I've been added in the chat. Go to the Brain Cell subreddit. It'll explain why Anissa doesn't love you. It's because you're a sub-8 male. You're a new male, Elon. Is this you pretending if you were me saying that? Very classic John Doe. Jay, I hope you didn't mute your microphone and walk away again. But, if I had to give advice, what can you take away from this event? 1, don't destroy your career for pussy. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not destroy your career for pussy. There is no pussy cavernous enough. There is no coochie tight enough. There's no coochie juicy enough. There is no mons pubis fat and thick enough. There is no inner thigh small and supple enough. There is no breast perky enough. There is nothing that is good enough to justify destroying your career for women like this. This is a broken man. This is a broken man who's broken beyond belief in a way that really can't be communicated. It has to be seen and watched and heard. It has to be understood. Everybody should understand. Everyone should understand what is happening here. This is the death of a content creator. And in the death of a content creator like this, he must learn how to deal, and how to cope, and to stop seething. It'd be advisable that he do that. But who knows? Who knows if he will figure this shit the fuck out before or after the divorce? Will he be dumb enough to impregnate her? Who knows? But if there was anything that could be said and done when it comes to content, please, for the love of God, do not make a career out of becoming the new Ethan Klein. My God, please. If there's anything you can learn from this, do not follow the road of H3H3. And you don't even necessarily need to follow the road of me or of Jay. Be yourselves. Be yourselves and stop pretending to be something that you're not for the purposes of saving face to the camera, because eventually the shit will pile up and then this will be what you're left with. You'll be left with this. You'll be left with this cycle factor of a man so broken, so beaten by the internet that he has to walk everything the fuck back. He'll probably keep walking it back to his grave. Who fucking knows? Her microphone is still muted. But yeah. There's not really much else I can say. Don't throw your career away for pussy. Don't throw your career away for any amount of pussy or dick. By the by. Like, don't do anything to justify how you can get involved in something like this. Don't think to yourself that somebody like Idubbz cares about you. He does not. He does not care about you. He doesn't even care about himself. He cares about his image and how he looks to everybody on the internet. If you're gonna watch a content creator, watch the content creator because you appreciate their content. Don't watch their content because you want to be just like them and want to copy and follow their footsteps to the letter. Because the thing that makes you who you are is going to be what people want to watch for. Ian no longer knows what he is, so instead he's decided to become what his wife tells him to be. From entrepreneurial choices to what he should wear as an outfit to bed. It sucks to suck. It sucks to suck. Now, anywho, I'm gonna read any. Well, actually, no, I don't think we have any remaining super chats. Did I miss anyone? That's the question I have. Jay still isn't back yet. Looking back through. Ian's nudes would probably make triple the amount of Anissa's. Facts. I am not sure about that, honestly. If, and this is a very big if, because it's a very big but, if Ian had decided to cover for Anissa by bringing and pulling attraction off of her, by attracting it to him, by making his own OnlyFans, and posting his content there, he could have been able to get to an energy point like that of Young Gravy, the musical artist, the guy who fucks MILFs, and drove a man insane because of the fact that he was fucking a popular TikTok star's mom. If there was a reaction that he had done something akin to that. If he had done something akin to that, people would have been on his side. But he didn't. because he's a bitch. So, we'll never know. We'll never know. Now, making sure I catch up with the chat. Does Ian make enough money to support them anymore? Because Anissa clearly is only with him for the money and the fame. If Anissa didn't have the creator clash to create money for profit through trying to get sponsors, she would not be telling him to do the boxing shit. Because the only reason she's telling him to do the boxing shit was because of the fact that celebrity boxing became a thing. And she wanted to abuse it. Carl, Idubbz is following the road of Ethan Klein and Anthony Fantano. Yes. There are DMs between Froggy and Ian that were from before Ian banned him. Froggy straight up asked if Sam being his friend will be a problem, and Ian acted the way that you expect. I know. On a more positive subject, have you guys watched the Blackening movie trailer? I have not. Carl, who's more of a sellout, Anthony Fantano or Idubbz? Idubbz. Fantano's always been an Access shill media person. She's back. Where you been?
Taking his shit.
There. So now that you're back, what is your full opinion of Idubbz as a content creator?
Used to be good, and now he's boring. And kind of sad. But, you know, we should take advice from your chat and watch the Blackening trailer. Just for ha-has. Want to see your opinion on it.
Okay. We're gonna watch it live, chat room. Fuck. Blackening. Blackening. Have you already seen this?
Kind of, yeah.
Then don't say nothing.
I'm not.
June 16th.
Stop playing it.
Wait, hold up. I know I left this door open. See the horror film. Preview audiences are calling a killer experience.
The Blackening. No, thank you.
Probably runs on racism.
Pick a card. Will you die?
In your predicament, the black character is always the first to die. I will spare your lives if you sacrifice the person you deem the blackest.
Guys, I can prove I'm not the blackest.
What you doing?
I thought black Twitter was a type of seasoning. I like Jimmy Fallon without the
Carl, where'd you go?
Oh, I voted for Trump.
I was playing the I just started playing the trailer instead of a watch together. What? You didn't have a watch together open still? It says you're still in here.
It's up, but it's not playing.
Weird.
I don't know, like re-link the link. This is not well. Okay, wait, there it goes. But oh, hang on. Let me refresh the page. God damn it.
That's what I just did.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
You're probably not in sync.
There we go. I'm back in.
On June 16th.
Stop playing it.
Wait, hold up. I know I left this door open. See the horror film. Preview audiences are calling a killer experience.
Let's see here.
Stop playing it.
Wait, hold up.
They might have it on my filter camera, but I know I saw some fucking chicken heads in the audience just now.
Preview audiences are calling a killer.
Let's see here. Starting on the right, we've got the homegirls. You can identify them by their ball caps. We have the oh my god. You can identify her by her long fingernails. Classical black woman. Damn, did you just pack a studio audience with nothing but niggas? The shit? I'm seeing twists and dreads and Jerry curls. The seat's over. Fuck.
We got free nigga tickets. Come on, come on.
Also, you niggas knew what you were doing by doing that. You knew what you were doing when you were doing that. You don't get a reaction from that. Fuck you. You lazy bitches.
Wait, hold up. I know I left this door open. See the horror film. Preview audiences are calling a killer experience.
The Blackening. No, thank you.
Probably runs on racism.
Pick a card. Or you die.
In your predicament, the black character is always the first to die. I will spare your lives if you sacrifice the person you deem the blackest.
Guys, I can prove I'm not the blackest.
Prove it.
I thought black Twitter was a type of seasoning. I like Jimmy Fallon without the roots.
Wrong.
I voted for Trump. What? Twice?
Damn, that's nowhere near funny.
You can't see
especially when you consider Trump's history with Black America before the fucking election.
with black rappers, with black entertainers.
Yeah, with black rappers, black actors, like they loved his ass, and then he started running there. Then suddenly, inexplicably, their view of him changed.
All of a sudden, we went from trying to be like Donald Trump to, I can't believe that racist fucking monkey. I am so embarrassed. Look at you, black fucking. I was just about to search them Graucus.
You niggas.
Oh my god. Why is he doing a take on fucking Sosa, huh? Why is he doing a bit? Is it supposed to be a bit that he's acting like Sammy? Is it supposed to be the bit?
I'm a black nerd. Yeah, he keeps doing he's doing the Stallone mouth for some reason. What the fuck is that?
He's doing
this
the Stallone.
Is so 90s.
He's doing the Stallone mouth because he's doing a take on the Rat Pack. He's doing a take on Jimmy.
I like Jimmy Fallon without the roots.
Wrong.
I voted for Trump. What? Twice?
Your time is up. It's time to die.
Fallon without the roots.
Wrong.
I voted for Trump. What? Twice?
Your time is
Wrong.
I voted for Trump. What? Twice?
You see, the fat one on the right is laughing the hardest because that actor looks just like her. Look at you, with your hair and bonnets, and your drinking and your cracking of your fingernails.
your time is up.
Alright, so we have here actors, failed comedians, failed actors, TikTok stars, and at least Jay Farrow.
Time to die.
So you can't convince me that this isn't an SNL skit that just basically never went on air.
Call the cops?
We're black people. We believe it's not prudent to immediately call the cops in a bad situation.
In other words, we're fucking idiots.
Call the cops?
See, with your dramatic pause, because you see, as black people, it's hilarious to think that we would call for the cops in a situation, because you see, black.
We have no sense of self-preservation.
Dude, why would we think about doing that? And we laugh at it, and then the audience laughs at it because, hey, it's funny, right? Carl, don't you realize the joke is that why would they act like black people in a film? I unironically am about to make a take that many people dislike having to make, but you realize that Get Out was much more precedent and funny in this manner than this film will ever attempt to be. And I really wish you guys would stop trying to copy this concept, because you guys don't understand the joke of the premise. The premise behind Get Out is that the audience will actively be screaming, "Get out" at the fucking screen. In The Blackening, you are playing with tropes and writing like you are in on the joke, but all you're doing is a worse portrayal of the Wayne brother comedies that are much better at this concept.
We need a plan. Let's get some weapons.
Wait, chili powder, girl? What I'm finna do, cook? Sorry, girl, we ran out of knives.
Let's read that headline.
Get some weapons.
Wait, chili powder, girl? What I'm finna do, cook? Sorry, girl, we ran out of knives.
The first great horror comedy of the post-Get Out era from IndieWire.
Oh God. Oh, Jordan Peele ruined everything.
Jordan Peele and his comedic timing is a ruinous effect on the entirety of humor. He actively ruined avant-gardism.
Like, one black person does one thing right, and then everybody has to fucking copy it. Like, fucking everybody. Not everybody. Every black entertainer has to fucking copy what that black person did.
Never you mind that Key and Peele literally was just copying Dave Chappelle. Jordan Peele makes a film that's supposed to be a tongue-in-cheek understanding of how people would realistically expect black people to act in a situation where they're being accosted by a paranormal level of crazy white people. And they have made that their personality to the point that they believe that this film is something of a savant piece of content. Writing reviews for films that have not publicly released amongst audiences yet. Haha, get it? Because he was shooting the gun sideways.
What I'm finna do, cook? Sorry, girl, we ran out of knives.
Why black women gotta save everyone all the damn time? Can we just go?
Lock the doors, get down. I'll be right back.
I'm not impressed.
Yeah, this is some 90s shit. This would have been innovative and funny like 25 years ago.
What you're missing is Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. and all current black cast. And ironically enough, even though he's probably one of the biggest cone sellouts, King Batch. If King Batch were in this film and he was playing the lead character, where the context of it is that everybody's playing a character, as in everybody is a character, but he's the only person who is aware of the meta jokes that are being made, then it would be funny. Because he would be telling them the context of what's happening, and then they would be acting like horror films victims. Because why the fuck would a horror victim know what kind of genre of film they're in, right?
Mm-hmm.
People do stupid shit in horror films because they're not thinking rationally, they're not thinking logically, they're not thinking about what they should do, they're panicked, and then they're trying to get out because they're scared for their lives. Why would they think about what genre they're in? So what if a black person...
Oh shit, hang on a sec. I'm gonna mute myself right quick.
She's got the squirts again. Sure they eating all that stew. I joke. In a horror film scenario, why would a character know what film genre they're stuck in? So, the premise of the Blackening should have been that there's one person who, from either, like, magically being aware of the plot to, like, just having enough rationale that they don't act irrationally, that they realize that they're in a horror movie, that they try to keep everybody alive because everyone's scared to death and are acting like modern-day blacks watching a film like that in the fucking in the fucking studio audience. He would try to lead them through the situation and try to keep them alive because, hey, we can't all die first, and that be the tagline for the Blackening as they've chosen to make it. But it has to be like a dark black humor comedy. It can't be a horror comedy where all you're ever doing is riffing and repeating what you think your politically captured audience that you're hoping is going to be the majority of the people who buy films and tickets to see this film would say and do. The same. Not close. I don't care for it because with all the people who are in that film, including Melvin Gregg, I don't want to watch a film that stars TikTok personalities. I already did that with Charlie's Wonderland, and that film sucked. That film fucking sucked. Films like that always suck. So, disinterested. Disinterested. They're all hoping and hollering like a backwoods turkey call-off. That feels racist to say, John. It's not racist, it just feels racist. I would argue that Nope is a better film than Get Out, but that's me. Get Out wasn't a horror film, it was a comedy that called itself a horror film. I guess. The problem is the tongue-in-cheek nature of Key and Peele makes it feel like it's not. Because if it's supposed to be a horror film, and the same thing with the fucking the fucking TSA character is supposed to be, he understands the context of the situation he finds himself in, but the main character doesn't. And he's so prepared with his nicety that he wants to at least try to meet his girlfriend's parents before realizing he's in a trap. It all just feels like it is literally a sketch. Like, this entire concept of the Blackening is a sketch for SNL, or was a sketch for Key and Peele skit that never got published, and now they're publishing it as a film. That's what it feels like. Remember, Carl, if you have a problem figuring out whether to vote for me or Trump, you ain't black. True, I'm French. Bonsoir, mon ami. When you see this, have you kept up with Kamen Rider Geats, Carl? I haven't watched a single fucking episode of a writer series past fucking 01, because they haven't interested me. I probably should. I know I at least want to check out Revis. Punished Carl over here. Punished Carl, embarrassed Carl, more like. A studio full of people laughing at mid-ass fucking jokes. That's embarrassing. Carl, White Chicks is way funnier than the Blackening. Thoughts? That's facts. They don't need no thoughts for that. That's facts. I feel like the joke of who's the blackest has been done before in the sketch. I mean, having somebody try to do a riff of Sammy Davis while they do the Stallone lip is not what I would find to be humorous or comedic. Like, that's not what's supposed to be the joke. Like, that's not funny. What would make it funny is if you actually presented it in a style like that of the menu. And, like, the person who does that is the person who is, like, I don't know, a character played by Alfonso Roberto.
Oh.
That large sigh must have been Jay sitting down in her chair.
No, my mom was calling me.
And what did she say?
Well, the second part of the move is going to commence pretty soon, so.
Hooray.
Yay.
Yeah, I'm not feeling the Blackening. It feels like a really, really poor SNL joke, or a really shit, out of time living color joke.
Yeah.
Real B-movie material. It's not even a B-movie, it's a C-movie. Because all the people who you'd need to have the roles feel like they would work aren't there. Like, the person who should be doing and delivering the "I'm not the blackest person" joke shouldn't be a guy that's trying to do an imitation of Sammy Davis Jr. It should be somebody like Alfonso Ribeiro that's, like, playing a thug.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care for TikTok stars. Stop trying to platform these fucking clout chasers.
They're not talented. They're not fucking talented. I mean, there are black influencers or like internet or entertainers that are really great, but they're never in these fucking things.
Yep.
Probably because they're shit anyway. But like the guys from RDC and oh my god, there's this other motherfucker. He did that water bottle Vine. Well, he was on Vine a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like a lot of black entertainers on the internet could be in these films, but they're just not in it. They could bring something to it because they have some kind of comedic timing, even though the movie is probably shit.
Mm-hmm.
But no, they're never in these fucking things.
I would take somebody like Hardstop Lucas over somebody like Melvin Gregg any day of the week. Like it's not even a fucking question. And
I don't even know who the fuck Melvin Gregg is.
Light skin clout chaser. Basically, light skin King Batch.
Yeah, I still don't know who the fuck that is.
King Batch is the guy who made his career off of all the horrible stereotypes. Don't worry.
I know who King Batch is. I'm talking about light skin King Batch. I still just don't know who that is.
I'll show you. Because ironically enough, all these people are from Vine. If they're not people that are like fucking VS1 stopovers, they're all Vine people who then transitioned into being TikTok people. What? Are you telling me you blocked this shit on there? Motherfucker, we will watch it on YouTube if we have to. This video is age restricted. Oh fuck, out of here with that shit. Oh, just fucking... Oh my god, you took a close-up of the fucking face. Oh my god. Here, I'll stream it to you.
That's better?
What up, homie? Yo, we got a problem?
Damn, look at that stomach though.
Homie, you trying to
Oh, okay. I remember this dude.
Oh no, the makers look good, homie. You like you. My neck broke too. What the fuck is y'all looking at, huh?
Walking with a limp because I got a burner.
Get the fuck out the street. Club going up on a Tuesday.
Hey, it's Wednesday, bro.
Do you like the way I flick my tongue or no? Oh no. You can ride my face until you're dripping cum.
Hello. Hey, what's up, baby? What you doing?
What's your name?
Hannah?
Where you from?
Ashland?
Well, this bitch is boring. Back to you, bye.
Pain. It's all pain. Also, I know I just disconnected and reconnected in the middle of that. But yeah, Melvin Gregg. And ironically enough...
Yeah, I've seen this guy before.
And ironically enough, you look real close there, you can see fucking Lele Pond's bestie, Hannah Stocking.
Ashlyn?
Mm-hmm.
They're all from Vine. We can't get away from the shit. They just keep rolling it into a career. Over and over again. Alright, did we learn anything about Ethan Klein's wife leaving him or not?
I've been trying to find shit. The only thing I could find was shit from like a year ago. Nothing from recently. Okay. So I don't know where like nothing on Twitter. So I have no idea where the hell this shit's coming from.
Okay, lovely. I'm not sure how to close out this stream. I think we've done everything we came here to do. Jay, final thoughts?
I don't have any.
And remember, chat, only you can prevent simping to white trash pussy. And as the content ends, so does the stream, ladies and gentlemen. It has been another time and another versus chat. Theme song, there we go. It has been another time, another versus chat. And as the window closes, consider giving your money to me. Don't give your money to them. Give it to me and to Jay. But specifically me. This bitch has got enough. As you can see, we have hit our goal of the new chair, but we're actually going to need a little bit more because we're going to have to cover shipping on this bitch. As unfortunately, my fucking Amazon Prime free trial just expired again. So, we're going to need that immediately. Again, this backyard fucking chair requires too many fucking pillows to be cushioned. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. This is what we're sitting on. My back is destroyed, okay? I keep leaning forward in the game position all the time. This is horrible. This is trash. Trash! Trash! We need this to be replaced as soon as possible. And possibly new headsets too. As soon as possible as well. These fuckers keep cutting in and out. Probably was the reason why we had the fucking issue in the first place at the beginning. I don't know if I'm going to have a stream tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. If I do, we're playing video games. Otherwise, if you like something and have something you'd like to have me see and have reviewed, please drop it in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, consider joining the Discord. If you're not a member of the channel, consider becoming a member of the channel. And a pleasure for the content. Because a Carl is a terrible thing to waste. We're leaving now. My ankle hurts. My everything hurts. My embarrassment hurts. On behalf of the real niggas, for real, for real.
Oh, just leave the stream, Carl. Damn.
I always gotta.
Longer than I do.
I always leave them nigging for more, bitch. What you mean?
That's not. That's the exact opposite of that.
You know? Yeah, you don't get it. Goodbye, everybody. Also, I have to leave time away because the way that YouTube's fucking streams do now is it always cuts shit out.